I want to speak straight from the heart here in this video and talk about something that has been bothering me for many years. And this insight or this perspective on things is not profound in any way, in my opinion. It's just something I have observed and acknowledged for many years, but I feel like it's now starting to settle in to a corner of my mind that I feel like I can talk about it. So, what am I referring to? Well, what I'm talking about, what I have seen for many years, is the humanity in all of us. Now, what do I mean by that? Our everyday interactions with people, whether it be strangers in public, people that we work with, friends and family, and just overall the relationship that we all have as human beings on this planet. And one thing that I've come to realize, and this is kind of gloomy, but it's that I realize that this world, we we aren't meant for what we are allowing ourselves to do every day. The whole bit of, going to work, working 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, with 2 days off, and just participating in things that we didn't really sign up for, but we know that that's part of life in order to maintain status, maintain financial independence. I mean, whatever it may be, I'm. It's not that I'm beginning to realize this. It's that it's starting to take on a new shape for me regarding how I look at it. Now, I will say this. I know that the world is not perfect, and I know that the systems that we have in place are, I feel like it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, I actually like working. I actually like keeping myself busy and having some sort of schedule, something that is consistent, albeit uncomfortable at times, but keeps me going, right? Because I have seen how my brain, or I have felt how my brain reacts to things when there's just a clean slate. Like, for example, having nothing to do for the whole day and not having anything on a schedule and just having free time. And it's a mix. I'll admit, it's a mix where it's wonderful, and then there are times where it's absolutely depressing. And I have gone through many, many thought exercises as to, what the world would look like if we didn't have to work, and, all of these uh, things that I consider unnecessary were out of the picture, and we could just focus on ourselves, but not in a selfish way, more so in a capacity where we could actually help each other. And I know people are going to hear that and think, dude, that sounds like some hippie trippy BS. Like, what are you talking about? You talking about a utopia? Not quite. Now, I still acknowledge at the end of the day that even with all of our core responsibilities like work and bills and all this other stuff that we didn't sign up for, we're out of the picture, humans are still going to be imperfect. Just because we get rid of those things does not mean that we're automatically transformed. And I get that. So I actually see both sides of it, is what I'm trying to convey here. Um, so yeah, that's everything that I'm thinking about that, on the top of my head. I'm just kind of blurting this out and getting it out of my system because it's something that has bothered me for many years. Now, I don't lose sleep over it. However, there are certain times where I realize, like many other people who follow this pattern, who are feel like they're stuck in this pattern, um, I have had times where it feels like I'm hitting a really hard wall, and I'm like, if I could just get past this wall and escape the matrix, as they say, things will be better. But I've also had the thought exercise of, well, once I get past that wall and escape the matrix, what happens after that? Is that mode of living going to be uh, way better than the one that I'm leaving it for? I mean, I would think so. I would hope so. But you really don't know those things until you start crossing that bridge. So, where am I going with all this? I don't really know. I just know that we aren't meant to be doing these things. I feel like many other people, I feel like a cog in the machine. And as I've gotten older, that feeling and that observation, that realization has become more intense. So I feel obligated to try and put a lot of my brain power into figuring out how to get out of that. And I'll be honest, I don't know how to do that. And I have spent many years trying to figure out this very thing. I do know this on a positive note, because I'm trying not to be gloomy here, because I realize that there's a lot of beauty in life despite following these consistent patterns that nobody wants to, be a part of. I do realize that as long as God puts breath in my lungs and keeps me conscious every day, I will find a solution for it. God will help me find a solution for it. Now, when that timing is, I don't know. I wish it was right now. But I know that that will come in due time as long as I'm living and as long as I am continuing to pursue that, to find that life outside of the one that I feel is not right for me, and a life that I feel that is not right for other people as well. I really do think that all of us on earth have enormous potential, but we are hindered by the throes of life, the things that, the normal hurdles that everybody runs into. And I want better for myself and I want better for other people. So, yeah, that's where I stand with that. Just getting it off my chest. I know that saying it out loud doesn't make it better. But I also know that I'm not the only person that feels this way. So this is my way of, this is my copium. This is my way of coping with this, to try and figure a way out, but also a reminder that I need to work more on achieving this reality, because I believe that it can be achieved. I believe that I can achieve it. And of course, if I can achieve it, I believe so can everybody else. Everybody else can achieve it as well. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.